Okay, Coach, historic Lambeau Field. Fittingly, it butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First down throw. Stafford almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Stafford. Benjamin's got it.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 16.
Check 50, check 50. Set it, Mike. Over.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 30-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
It's a party now. Take 30. 51.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's going to look deep down the field. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know some teams are leery about playing cover 2 because the strong safety's not usually a terrific cover guy. But in this case, he played it perfectly. Read the football and went and made the interception.
Check, check. Lucky.
After the interception, here's Stafford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. That's a tough spot as a quarterback, Charles. You want to get rid of it, but you see what can happen when you do try to get rid of it with pressure.
Yeah, and how about the pressure coming without them having to blitz? That's when you know things are clicking for your defense, and the end result, they end up gaining 6 points.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now it's Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 15 yards on the play, first down.
And the Lions, first down.
Red 80. Bound to lose one.
On first down, Benjamin. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Lady! I'm coming for you. You
To throw is Stafford. Caught by Jones. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. They knew they had the free play after the penalty. They get great yardage so they can decline that penalty.
And one of the things we've seen develop more and more in recent years are teams seeing that penalty occur and still taking the big shot downfield and hoping to gain the yardage as we just saw there. They practice it, they work on it, and this time they're successful.
And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
36-yard line.
Hey, wahoo! No gain on this defense.
Here's Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
First down, Detroit.
Set, 280. Mike, 44. I'm coming.
On first down, it's Stafford. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Brings up second and 7 at the Packers' 40-yard line.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. To the air again, Stafford. Jones has it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
17 yards. First down, Lions.
Stafford now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it first and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Johnson running right. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Taken down at the 19-yard line. It's a gain of a yard. And it's third down.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter. They're on the march, but facing a third down here. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Completes it to Davis. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. From the gun, here's Stafford. Buying time to his left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, second and goal. Running from the gun, Johnson. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson. His second touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Prater for the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Rodgers. To throw again. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the ground, this is Johnson. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 34-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
53, ready. Mike Bobo. All day, every day, any day.
On 3rd down, Stafford. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. A running play on 1st down will give 4 up to the 29. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones. His 4th touchdown on the year. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 15 yards on the play, first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
A gain of 3, second down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. From just shy of midfield, Stafford going underneath. He's got Hawkinson. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brings up third down.
The Lions on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked off at the 39. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Second down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Now it's Rodgers. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Lions will take over at the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. But they find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. A running play on first down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards, a first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Jair Alexander, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. From the 41, Rodgers. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked by Tracy Walker. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 20. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it second down. A good way there to have him bounce back from the interception last drive. Something underneath, a little bit of rhythm going.
I know the best ones in the league have supreme confidence, but every now and then you need a little booster, don't you? This is their way of protecting him and bringing him back, and then they'll turn him loose later, I would think. Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's when the physicality pays off. A nice job. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that makes it a 21-10 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. This time they stay on the ground. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's 2nd and inches at the 41-yard line.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Again, it's Jones. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. On now is the Packers punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
From the 22, Stafford looking middle, and it's incomplete. Jair Alexander that time able to knock that one away.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
A'Shawn Robinson there on the stop.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
You. Wow. Okay, over here. He's coming.
They'll go again to Jones. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up in what's been so far a tough game for them. Rodgers going to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Devon Kennard. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. On now is the Packers punter as he's on here to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5 now. Stafford, open man is Galladay, complete. And he's out right at the 25. 16 yards, a 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They go to Johnson again. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the 1st half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Come on, QB, come on. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Hurry. Come on, 44. 10. You must be dreaming.
Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Rashawn Gary in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And, Charles, they only needed a yard there. They try to pass the football. What do you think?
Well, I can't really go all out and kill them for the call because that 3rd and 1 fake and throw it over the top for a big play, that often does work. But in this situation, the pressure got to him.
A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
Well, to say that this has not been his game is probably a big understatement. I mean, he is all over the place. Mechanics are off, not accurate, except if you're playing on defense because they picked off a good number of passes.
Yeah, all the INTs, but they're throwing it off his back foot. Pressure coming, just chucking it downfield. He can't do that right now.
No, you can't do that at all. And I think one of the hardest things for a guy having a day like this one is to find a way to just kind of get out of it, kind of get yourself back to neutral. Because what you try and do is make even more spectacular plays to make up for it, and it usually leads to more bad ones.
A big play there on the catch and run. 54 yards. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Rodgers going to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point safely through. And the lead is up to 18 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Stafford, the intended receiver was Trevor Davis, but now it's 3rd down.
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back, I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off or if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing is Stafford. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25. A big seam, and he might go all the way. 30, 10, touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, 75 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And they open the lead up now to 25. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Again, it's Johnson. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
To throw on 3rd down. Stafford, he's going to float this one deep right side. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Jim, 32.
Lions go for it on 4th. It's Stafford. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jones. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Throwing now is Rodgers. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They're not ready for this. They still playing.
Now Jones. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
Hey, alert 3. Rolling back. Double up. He's got it.
Here's Jones. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones taking it in as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. To throw again. Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A gain of 13, it's a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Here's Stafford. He completes it to Jones. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing again is Stafford. Here as he's taken down. Preston Smith able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now.
22! Fofo's the Mike. Mike's Fofo. Pick me up. Here we go. 44 is the Mike. 44 is Mike. Check.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Stafford. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7 now from their own 7. They'll keep it on the ground. Jones. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And that's complete. It's the tight end Daniels. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Returnable here from the 38. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get...
And now here is another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick, but he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And it's caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Mike 42, Mike 42. Record.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Kenny Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season. Maybe one final chance here to make this a bit more respectable as he'll go for it on 4th and goal.
He don't want it. 42.
They snap it to Stafford. And this is incomplete. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. And some space here. A big run there by Jones. 46 yards on the ground.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this.
Yeah, boy.
It's lonely on top of the throne. I ain't a king of the pawn. Hop on a jet across the globe. I guess the road is my home and there's so many milkers birding my dome and like turbulent air. I'm switching these flows. If you look at my neck, boy, I'm letting it slow. I'm sturdy as hell, it's a vessel alone. They showing me love in my city. Gangs ain't hippies. Women like Nick, you know what I'm about. I'm not the stereotypes. They do not fit me. I'm bigger than life. Gave everyone jaws. I'm not a guard. Go hard with a squad. I'm playing my part, but I'm LeBron. Wings of the team, I feel Jackson and hard. The homie calling from a cell. A couple of homies be making it. I just want all of them dudes to the well. Not worried about taking a couple of L's. Don't sin for me, just win for me. Don't kill for me, just live for me. Keep it real for me. We eat together, leave the bill for me like. Hand on my heart, I give it all I got. Walk the walk and talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Hand on my heart, no, I give it all I got. Walk the walk, talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Never stopping, that's a must. Always winning, never lost. GPS, I never lost. GPS, I never lost. Who do it better than me? Yeah. Vision on 2020. Yeah. Baby, yes, company. Yeah. Determination, laser focus. Banging on they door, they taking notice. Taking notice. Taking notice. Determination, laser focus. Banging on they door, they taking notice.
Blow your mind.
Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't getting too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, Monday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the jag calling. Let me click over real quick to let my jag talk it. I eat, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back. The way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack my bad, but I'm past that. With a NASDAQ, that's cash. When the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like, who's that knocking at my window? My window. They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you fuck like a limbo. She said she not a, she an A. Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't getting too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back.
We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. Wanna run to the bed until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the jet. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs, they by my side.